Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a couple weeks since our last video, and I've just done some traveling and just enjoyed some time off through the holidays, so that was really needed and welcomed. So now we're going to get back at it, and where we left off was we were discussing Datolite. We were running through some different Datolites from different mines, and I've got this piece in front of me here that I found at an estate sale. And I wanted to share it with you because it needs some work, and it's going to have to be repolished, and I think you'll find it really interesting when you see what type of Datolite it is. So let's take a look at it right now. So here's the piece, and it's already made into a nice little pendant, and I think you can already tell by looking at it that it's from the Quincy mine, and more well known as the Mesnard part of the mine. And it's just got that yellow characteristic to it, so that would be my best guess. But I'll just turn this over, you can kind of take a look at the back of it too. This is a piece that I believe is made by a guy named Paul Fetting. He was an excellent silversmith and really contributed a lot to this hobby that we have, and I've collected a lot of his pieces, and that's why I think this is probably one of his. Nonetheless, it looks like somebody may have damaged the surface of it a little bit, maybe tried to polish it with something and it just didn't turn out very good. And that's why it just kind of looks dull and somewhat ugly. So we're going to do our best to clean this piece up and see if we can make it back to the original condition. One thing, throughout the years, that as I've worked with Michigan stones and lapidary and greenstones and just had that enthusiasm about Michigan minerals in general, I've really paid attention to and somewhat collected pieces from Paul Fetting. Anytime I found something interesting that he made, I'd try to buy it maybe secondhand or at a rock show or something like that. So, and I just really appreciate the contribution that the man made towards the hobby, silversmithing in general, and especially the contributions for the Datolite pieces that he made, and also his creativity with putting different pieces of copper with Datolite and with greenstone. Tried to incorporate a lot of the different minerals in really specialized pieces. So I have a lot of respect for him in the way that his creative mind worked, and so I'm going to do my best to service this piece and bring it back to life, and hopefully it looks the way it did when he made it. Okay, so I've got the apron on and I'm getting ready to start this piece, and I'm just going to bring this down to 600 grit. I'm going to do my best not to remove any material as little as possible. And that way, if this is a shallow surface of Datolite, I didn't put the piece together, so I don't really know how deep it goes. I'm going to do my best to remove as little as possible, just to preserve the color and any thin layer of Datolite that it may be. So let's get started. Okay, so right away what I'm seeing here is I'm getting a terrific looking yellow color coming out of this Datolite, and you can already kind of see that these nice little the somewhat colored veins that run through this Datolite, they're looking really good, and it's kind of drying up on me right now. Let's see if I can keep it wet, that way you can see what it's going to be. But what I want to do is I want to pay attention to any flat spots that I might be creating with the higher grit, like a 600. So I've got to be very careful not to create flat spots, And also, right on the bezel, on the silver edge, I have to be extremely careful not to disturb that silver edge or mistakenly sort of grind off like a divot into that bezel. So it's very important to watch that bezel as I'm grinding on this small pendant. It's very easy to slip and sort of hit that bezel. So just keep that in mind if you're repairing a piece. And I'm just going to continue. Those are just some things to keep in mind, and that's what I'm paying attention to. And I'm especially on the higher grits like the 600, I'm really paying attention to that bezel edge and just making sure that I don't damage that bezel. And I think on towards the higher grits, if I'm not satisfied with the bezel, I can maybe switch to a Dremel and sort of work around the bezel edge with a Dremel. I'm going to step it up right now to the 1200 grit and just work around the stone, and we'll take a look at it after 1200. Okay guys, we're getting closer. This is looking really good. So what I've got a 1200 grit polish on the top of this stone, but I'm not exactly satisfied with whatever this oxidated color is right here. I'm going to see if I can remove that with a Dremel. The Dremel will just get me a little bit closer in, and I've got a 600 grit Dremel that I'm going to just try to work this edge and just make that look a little bit better before we move on. Okay, certainly it's a lot better. I've got more of a consistent color going all the way to the edge of the bezel now. Okay, I'm a lot happier with how that color travels all the way to the edge of the bezel, and so there's not that ring around the bezel where my polishing lap just isn't hitting it. So I'm really a lot more satisfied with that result. So now I'm going to move back again on the 1200 and try to move through the steps. Now it should go relatively quickly. After we get the stone polished, we're going to move to polish the silver, and hopefully the piece looks terrific. So. Okay, It's going really good. This is an awesome looking piece, and I can definitely tell that this was a very special piece of Datolite. Even back in the day when there was a lot more Datolite to find. I'm gonna go ahead and try to work on this bezel just a little bit and see if I can't clean this up. There's a little dent kind of like right there, and I may not be able to fully get that out of there. It's pretty deep. If I use my bezel tool and just work that silver and just sort of push on it a little bit, I might be able to make that just look a little bit more pleasing, which it's already quite thin. Maybe that might polish out just a little bit better now. Other than that, it's going really good. Let's give this a try. What an outstanding piece. I think I did a really good job on the polish too. I don't notice any flat spots right now, so that's a good sign. It's got a nice cabochon appeal to it. But what's also really cool about this piece is these incredible color lines that come through the Datolite right here. And there's sort of like a reddish purple right here. And then also this amazing oxidation layer that's kind of oxidating right at the edge right here. I find that so cool and unique. But yeah, so anytime you're going over a piece that you're reconditioning, you really want to pay attention to the thickness of the bezel and what you have to work with. So like on this particular piece, this bezel's just got really thin right here. And so, I think I'm just going to leave that alone. I'm not going to try to work that out anymore. It's just, there's not much left there to deal with. So just going to leave it as it is. And, at some point, this may just need to have a whole new piece made, at which you would just, strip the whole piece of the silver and just rebezel the whole thing. But for now, it's, to me, it's acceptable. And also, very nice. I mean, there's some scratches here on the back, and I think I could probably work those out with a higher grit. And I might try that right now. Okay, that is a lot better. Some people actually, consumers would complain about that kind of that blob of solder on the back, and it probably shouldn't be there, but it is on the back, and you know, it does help support, see this neck going into this this bail right here. So by removing some of that, you could kind of make that a little bit weaker. You know, it just kind of is it's always an argument in beauty versus structure. So, you know, to me, I'd probably just leave this. It's not on the front of the piece, and it does help support that bail a little bit. So anyway, great piece. Guys, that was a super fun find to have come across that piece of Datolite and an amazing little pendant like that. And it was fun to refurbish it and bring it back to life. You know, especially the before and after. There's really no comparison. You know, I think that comes down to somebody, you know, just trying to clean it up, possibly with a, you know, a Dremel or whatever they had, and maybe they just maybe lacked the experience of, you know, lapidary, and this could have easily been fixed, as I, you know, just demonstrated. So, you know, if you're seeing this and you've got a piece that's damaged and you think it's just junk, reach out to somebody in lapidary. A lot of these things can be fixed quite easily, and it didn't require me to take apart the whole piece and, you know, rebuild the whole thing. You know, given there is a little bit of a damage, you know, on it right here in the corner, I think it's acceptable for wear right now. And if you wanted to someday in the future remake the piece, it would be, you know, it would be possible. So, well, hey, it was great being with you today, and super excited to get back with these videos, and I'm so glad you're joining me. And as we move forward, I can't wait to see what we come up with together. So if you like the video, hit that like, subscribe to the channel. It really does help us out, and it kind of gauges what direction we should go with these videos. And you know, the like button certainly helps with seeing which ones you guys like. So until next time, guys, be well, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next time.